Hey everyone. I was actually asked to drop a garage and give somebody an estimate for it. Um, so I thought, why not record myself and what I do? Um, this is a very fast part of what I do. Obviously, a garage isn't going to be as complicated as a house, um, but I wanted to show off my system and what I built over the last couple years, just to share it with you. I built multiple contractor estimates from concrete, deck, garage. This is a big project I'm working on, but the PES folder, pole barns, stairs, and a whole house estimate. Just to kind of show them off a little bit. The deck estimator. This one here is very similar. Um, put in there's all kinds of fields to fill in. It doesn't. It looks a little more complicated than it really is, but then it gives you a lumberyard report, and then here's my methodology. What my rules that that drive all the formulas and stuff like that. So very similar to what I did in the garage at one that you can see right here that I have open on the right. Um, got the inputs. And in my theory, the inputs are the only page that a guy should be modifying. Everything else is driven off formulas in Excel. The geometry, this is where all the math is done, all the my formulas that I have built that are done. And so you get a material takeoff, which gives the contractor, why this has been what it's being used for, and then a final report that you can actually give to your lumberyard. And then I do a final pull list as well, which is probably more similar to what you would give to the lumberyard. I need to make these right here hidden while I'm thinking of it. We need to see those on the final report, but that was all the methodology from here implemented that these are all my rules that I use when I do my estimating. So in the final report, those rules are what drive populating these quantities and stuff like that. So I always have like a preloaded garage, if you will, in here. Um, that way I can always tell that, things are working, the material takeoff's working, final report's working. If I don't have that for some reason, whatever problems I have with my, I don't know if you want to call it that, problems, but it drives me crazy. So I want to see that it's populating with something. It's just something I do. But I use Excel. I don't use any other program. You can't buy this program. I've made it over the last couple of years. All my different Excel sheets. What I do use that costs, well, Excel costs money too. But what I do use that costs money is Envisioneer. It's a drafting um, uh, CAD tool. It's very very cool. It's kind of pricey. It I think you're in at about $2,500 to purchase it, and then you maintain it as you go. I'm on version 17. I've had it since I've been buying it since it was like version 4. But anyway, it's this design tool that I use. It is pretty involved. It's a little more than a guy needs if you're not doing this every day, but I do draw a lot of houses for people. It allows me to show 3D renderings. It allows me to actually do wall sections. It allows me to look at every wall. It allows me to frame it, so I can make sure my framing is correct. As you can see here, this opening is not correct. I would need to go in there, and if I was going to give them a framing detail, I also don't like blocking on 9 foot walls. I'd shut that off. But for this purpose today, we don't need to worry about that so much. That's not why they wanted a price on this, not me draw up a garage for them. So I'll shut that off. That doesn't affect what we're going to do today. Change something here. And I don't know how this will get cut, but you guys will be part of it. So it has everything that they asked for. If you look at it, a couple windows, an 8x8 door, nothing in the back. Keep it simple. Very simple garage. Nothing fancy. I do want to do this though, and I want to make this invisible. Shade this thing. Select it. Now we can select the hardwood floor. Perfect. Visible roofs. Okay, so we got our garage back and a couple windows, walkout door, and a garage door. Simple as it gets. 24 by 32. But I'm going to show you how I would do a takeoff on this, and I'm changing up how I normally do it just because I really want you guys to see how I do it. I don't need to split my screens. I have a couple screens that I use. So anyway, so getting right into it, I'd open up my Excel sheet. Like I said, you can't buy these. These are just for me. I've built them over years. Really focused on it this last couple of years or this last year to make a tool that made my process easier. This doesn't take long at all, so let's jump right into it. Yellow cells are my inputs. So my project name is, I'm just going to do test garage. Project number, I'm going to do alpha 2 just because it's a video for you guys. Estimator, me. This all shows up on the final report. That's why I put it in there. Um, the width is 24. The length is 32. The wall height is 10. Got a lot of that stuff in there. Um, it's a gable roof. I'm actually going to do a 512 on this. So I have a drop down menu. Grab the 512. Overhang is going to be 16 inches. The subfascia is 2x6. I can change that to 2x8 if I want to. Like the steeper roofs and stuff like that, 2x8 works well because the steeper roof makes a longer angled end. So sometimes a 2x8 covers that up so your F channel and stuff can get underneath it. Wall framing for this one, my garages I normally see 2x4, but this one is 2x6. Stud spacing 16. Stud count method. So I do perimeter divided by 12 inches, not on 16 inch centers. It allows for trimmers, king studs, and corners that way on something like this. Walkout door, we have one. Walkout door width is going to be 3 foot. Door height is your standard 6'8", and that's broken into inches. We have two windows. These windows are going to be 2'6", 2 foot 6 inches. So I'll do 2.5, and our height is 3.5. Quantity, we have two of them. Have a window two. Whoop, zero, zero. Base. That's for window two. If there's another sized window in here somewhere, I could put a window two in there. Not used very often for garages. Overhead door, I have one. It is a 9x8, so that, or 10x8, sorry, 10x8. One of them, materials. So wall sheeting is going to be 7/16. Wall sheeting size is 4x8. Roof sheeting thickness is 1/2 inch. I do have a drop down here, and I know we are changing that to 5/8. Underlayment, I know that it's going to be synthetic. Roof type, architectural. Siding is going to be smart side. And house wrap, since it's 9 foot walls, I'm actually going to send them out the 9 foot Tyvek house wrap. No ridge vent on this one. They didn't ask for one, but I think I'm going to put one on there just because why wouldn't you? They're not going to insulate the inside, but bundles per square, there's 4. So I've filled out everything I need to know on this garage without touching really anything over here in the drawing. Now, if I wanted to give them a really cool drawing, I could come in here and auto dimension it. Oops, tools, dimensions, auto dimension exterior. I can make a bunch of details, bunch of elevations, whatever they wanted, but it's a garage. They're more interested in this material price I'm gonna take. So now that we're done with this, one last little pretty look. Make sure we didn't forget anything. Granted, this one's not that complicated, but let's do a fly around here. A fly around button. All these textures and stuff, they're arbitrary until you tell them what they mean. I mean, you can get with this program, you can get pretty detailed with, your quantities, what you wanted to do takeoffs on as well. It's a little more involved. There's formulas and stuff you got to understand for all those too, which I do, and they're useful. But the reports aren't something that most people would use, or programmer type stuff. So anyway, that's what got me to generate in mind. So say goodbye to the picture. We might look at it in a little minute if we have a question we need to answer, but I'm going to blow this up because all our inputs are in. And now that that is all done, we can go over, if we want to check out, this is the brain. This is where I've created all my formulas, put them in the Excel sheet. These are just the knowledge over the years in formula application, I guess proprietary. Material takeoff. This is everything that material wise that could go into a garage, and it populates the stuff that I'm going to need in the final report. Final report, here's what you would hand your lumberyard. It kind of gives you the building vitals right up here. The information, area, square footage, roof pitch, overhang, roof area, ridge length, rake, that's your gable, your eave length, all that stuff that if you're going to do like metal siding or something like that, which we can do too, or like metal with purlins, so like a pole barn, I have a whole nother estimator for that, but you can change all that. But these numbers are nice for the lumberyard to look at or the contractor to look at. Critical assumptions is a part where how we're building it. So it's right up here on top. It's a 2x6 wall, stud spacing 16, stud count method, so they know why I came up with as many as I did. Wall sheeting, roof sheeting, waste factor on those. Architectural shingles, the underlayment is synthetic, the siding is LP. I just thought of something. I should put corners on this, but anyway. Walkout door and one overhead door, and let's see here. This is the size of the windows here. So yeah, there we go. I like it. I don't know what this is doing that for, but anyway. Window 2. There's no value in window 2. Window 1. I didn't have value in window 2. Okay. So then it breaks it down completely from framing, sheeting, roofing, exterior, house wrap, siding, coverage required, blah, 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 blah. Exterior, fascia trim, outside corners. I guess I did do that. Good on me. Good job, Todd. Yeah, so if there's something you don't understand, I guess there's no ability to ask me questions, but you can see what I've done. This is a report that you can print off for your contractor. So just for fun, let's go to print. We were gonna change the properties on that, I would say. Okay. Layout. So it gives you your report that you can print off. This is just a material estimator. And then, so let's go ahead and just for fun print it. Here, we are going to put this on the desktop. Oh, let's actually put it in that. Contractor estimators, garages, video test, garage estimation. This is just a final report. Save. And so you can look, it just makes a PDF of the final report, what you'd hand to the contractor for their final report. Just it lists everything in detail. So materials might show up a couple times, like sub fascia is going to show up a couple different times. If you're using your framing, it's going to show up. 2x6s will show up there. What I thought would be nice, and what I would want, since I worked at the lumberyard, final pull list, and that is this one over here, where it lumps the framing material together and all that kind of stuff. So a guy's not running around trying to figure out where everything is and how many pieces and all that kind of stuff. So it puts like kind things together. Again, it gives you some of the vitals, not all the vitals, but some of the vitals that you need that might have questions on. Same thing here. We can go up there and we can print this off. Set up my printer again. Changed all that letter. Again, we'll go ahead and print this off for fun. It's fun. This is the Lumberyard Report. See. And this is the final pull list. So it just breaks it down. It's the same list as the material list. It's just simplified. Not we don't try to double things up. Uh, it's yeah, it's good. There's a couple things I'm seeing that I should have selected, but I didn't. But for what we're doing, it looks good. It kind of shows you how fast things can happen on my end. Why guarantees the way I do on the takeoffs. But if there's the whole purpose of this is to generate another income stream for myself and to provide a good service that otherwise has taken days and sometimes loses jobs because of the inaccuracies of some of the takeoffs or the inability to get them out quick and people move on. A lot of contractors, because this takes so long, have set up square foot numbers, and sometimes those bids get lost because they're not as competitive as they could be, but they're protecting themselves. So I understand that, and by streamlining the estimating process, it really does help. So that's about it for my video. I'm going to fumble around here a little bit with it, but I really appreciate you guys. I'm trying to make a little more content, hopefully make myself busy enough that I don't have to make a bunch of content. I get my name out there, but I know in the past, takeoffs have taken a long time, especially larger ones, and it was something I needed to work on my end. So I got it fixed. I'm ready to get out there with my abilities, and I do enjoy working with contractors and homeowners, and being more efficient just makes it easy for them. I have no intentions of being extremely expensive. My goal is to be busy, so I want this to be an advantage to everyone. But as you can see, we get some pretty neat reports. Material takeoff explains every last piece why it's being used. and a final report is what you can hand to the lumberyard, so they can get your stuff out to you. Let's go here, and a final, or the final report. Sorry, is the one that tells you what every last piece is being used for, and the final pull list is what you give the lumberyard. It simplifies everything, puts like things together, and you're not finding 2 baits here, 2 baits down here, 2 by 6s here. It shoves them all together, so it's easy to find, easy to pull. So thank you for your time. Hope you guys like the videos. I'm going to probably chop this up into some talks and some Facebook and some YouTube stuff, but I really appreciate it. Appreciate passing the word around for me. I do enjoy the work. I truly appreciate it, and I want to be an added asset, so not a burden of cost. So um, contact me, and I'll give you my prices. Little garage like this, for example, I can't see it costing more than 25 to $50. Obviously, it didn't take me very long, so I did have to draw it up. But obviously, I would have done that. Just I did that for the video. I would charge a homeowner for that. So, but I appreciate it. Have a great one, and pass the word along, like and follow all that bullshit, and have a great one.